The point of this was to uh, explain to the committee some of the concerns that drivers have with everything going on in the news with the English language proficiency. And so this was my first slide, and what it had to do with, there was a study that the National Academies did that was called a consensus study. And from the driver's perspective and others, there was a lot of frustration with the 2024 consensus study report on pay and working conditions in long haul truck and bus industries because it didn't reveal any great data that's publicly available on driver compensation. And one of those reasons why is that they kind of relied on the industry to provide it. And, the industry isn't going to tell what they really pay the driver. So I sat in on one meeting where they got a presentation from somebody from the ATA who was only giving them information for the 3 years of experience and up. And talking about all these bonuses, and I was just like, well, that's not where the problems are. So they're like right off the bat trying to mislead this research group. So, uh, you know, we all know that all the problems exist in the 0 to 3 years, and especially in the 0 to 1 year experience level with regards to wage theft and under training and detention and retention. So I wanted to point it out to them if there's future research teams looking into driver compensation, that they need to talk to truck drivers at orientation. When you start at a company, they give you your pay schedule of what you're going to make 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, and then after 6 months, and then, after a year. But a lot of people don't even make it to 6 months. And so there would have been data available if they knew where to look for the data. There was just too much reliance on the industry being transparent and supplying this information. But we all know that one of the core issues in trucking is that they are not transparent and they do not plan to be transparent. So they're not a good source of information. However, this study did identify something that the drivers appreciated, that the truckload sector, where turnover is the highest and has the most issues regarding safety, retention, and consistent pay, um, this sector also always claims to have a driver shortage, and this report debunked that. It debunked the driver shortage myth, and the report concluded that claims of a chronic shortage are spurious, noting that carriers could reduce turnover, but they chose not to do it for economic reasons. And to support this, I referred to OIDA Foundation's research that showed that over 400,000 new CDLs were issued annually. With in 2022, it reached 800,000, and that created an oversupply of drivers and depressed wages. So supply of drivers is not an issue. It has never been an issue. A true labor shortage would raise wages and improve working conditions. And so that was something that the ATA did not like, and they contested it. In 2021, there was a series, three articles that were published by the same investigative journalist, Alana Samuels, and this was one of them, that even saying that there's a truck driver shortage makes conditions worse for drivers. Her other two articles focused on the poor training and even some of the sexual assaults that happen in training and the murder of a driver in CRST training, that his body was found on the side of the road like several weeks after he was killed by his student, and the company just told the family that he just quit one day and disappeared and, didn't even go look for him. And then a road crew found his body on the side of the road. So these articles are very important for people to read. And one of the disappointing things was we thought in 2021 that this type of article would raise the red flags that somebody needs to look into these training fleets and what was going on. Um, this terminology of this driver shortage is harmful. And now the industry is trying to say, oh, it's a qualified driver shortage. This too is very misleading. It implies that unqualified individuals can get the keys to a tractor trailer and a fuel card all by themselves. And that is just patently false. Someone gave the keys to those drivers that are unqualified. Someone hired them. Someone knew they didn't know how to operate a tractor trailer safely. And that is the problem that we need to get at.